Hello everybody, this is Knoxef and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be going over a checklist of all the things your starter base needs in Minecraft. It'll be a general list. You can pick some that you want, pick some that you other, but a lot of these, are requirements. And so we'll get right into the video, and we'll start off with our very first checklist item, and that is a door. Every starter house needs a door, or else you won't be able to get in. Pretty simple, so let's move on. Number 2 is storage. This one's kind of a bit more important. You need to make sure that you have some sort of storage solution, and one that you can grow on, kind of making a starter base. Third one is crafting, and this is all sorts of crafting. All the different new crafting blocks, anvils, stuff like that, because it's always important to just have around. So it's a pretty simple one, but make sure that you have all of these blocks ready to use in all of your starter bases. Next up we have enchanting. Pretty simple. It's important to have enchanting. This one's a bit later game, but it's still important. For this one, it is smelting. Number 5 is smelting. It's really important to have in a base. Make sure you have it. A lot of my bases don't, and so always, make sure that you don't forget it, like I do. Alright, so this one is a bit more complicated, and this is a reliable food source. So what I mean by reliable is that something that you can depend on for a long time. Not something that's quick and easy, but something that'll generate you food for as long as you need it to do food for you. This one is a mine. It goes all the way down to however low you want to mine. Easily accessible into your base so you can mine at night. And you need to have this in your starter base, or else you just won't be able to get any resources. Go straight into the next one, which is a bed. Because when it gets to night, you're going to want to sleep. This one is very undervalued, and this is a close source of wood. Your base needs to have a close source of wood, because if you need to make a crafting bench, you don't want to go really far. So, next up is it needs to be accessible. Your base, it needs to be really easy to get into it. The door is on the ground, and so it's quite easy to get into. But if the door was up here, and you need a ledge to go in, it might look better. But, always make sure that you can get in. That's the highest priority. If you look at a house like this, one second, just finishing up. But this is like a base that somebody would make. Maybe a little bit better. But you can see how this looks cool, but there's no way to get in. And so maybe you should reconsider if you're planning a base like this. This one is to write down the coordinates. You need to make sure that you can find this base again, especially if it's not right at spawn. Because if you can't get back to your base, well, that can be a real issue. So you should always write down the coordinates, either in booked or in Minecraft or otherwise. This one is a little bit more vague, and this is to decorate your builds. If you can look right here, it is a dirt block, and it's not very nice, and I wanted to do that as an example. So what I'll do is I'll pretty this right up. And there we go. We have a nice looking house. And all houses need decorations. Because if you're going to be living here for any decent amount of time, you want to make sure that it's the very best you can make it. And go inside. And don't worry, it has all the things from before. Nothing's missing. So yeah. There's nothing missing. It has all the... I went through the checklist again. And so yeah. Now this looks just a lot nicer. So number 13 is lights. Make sure to light up your builds. You do not want to come back after a long mining session to find that you have some creepers in your base. You do not want squatters. So if you go to night, you shouldn't even notice the difference. You see it's all lit up. So if you go outside, you're dark, but inside it's nice and cozy and warm. This one is for crop farms. It's not really that important if you have a reliable food source, but what is important is villages. So if you want to build some potatoes, or carrots, or beetroot, or whatever, villagers can do, that's important. So 15 is space to grow, and kind of goes with the crop farm. You need to make sure that you have space to grow around you. If you're in the middle of a bunch of mountains, if you want to build your base bigger, you won't have much space. So somewhere like this, it's in a forest, there's lots of area around to build. So speaking about the area around, you can see all these biomes, and this rock terrace. You need to make sure that it has a good landscape. It's not needed, but I like looking at the window and I like looking at something cool. So having a nice landscape will just make your build just look better. So you might want to pick out a cool location before you start building. Number 17 is close animals. Pretty simple. You just need to make sure that if you're looking for a sheep or a cow, they don't have to travel 1,000 blocks to do it. So if you build around animals, then that'll make your life a lot easier if you ever plan to make an animal farm or you need a certain resource from an animal. Next up is diverse biomes. You need to make sure that around you there is a good variety of different biomes. Make sure that all the main biomes are close to you, so if you need to go get a jungle, it'll be close. Number 19, which is advanced. We're getting into the advanced territory, and that's villages. Some bases, they have villages inside, others they don't, but what's important is that villages are super duper useful for any starter base. Going along with villages, I don't really have an example for this, but this is farms. It's like a creeper farm, it could be a witch farm, it could be a mob farm, any other sort of farm. Those are really important to have on a starter base, and those are pretty advanced. Finally, for number 21, the final checklist items you guys have all been waiting for, and that is to copy design off the internet. This house actually wasn't designed by me. It was designed by a wonderful builder named Disruptive Builds. You can find them on Instagram, and I have a link in the description with their credits to this building, and I copied it off the internet. And if you're ever wondering for a build, you can always go onto Instagram, and there's no shame in copying others. So, that is a list of 21 checklist items that you need to have in your starter base for it to be the very, very best that you can possibly make it. So, thank you all for watching. Really enjoyed making this video. Sorry, it's been a while. I'm just getting back into the groove, but more videos will be coming out soon. And so, see you guys all